Hello everyone, this is Luke Plays Lead back with, I'll call this part 2 of the previous video, so if you haven't watched part 1, which I guess maybe I'll label part 1, wasn't planning on it till now, you don't have to, but you could go watch it. It might give you a little insight of what I'm talking about here, which I'm talking about embouchure. Now I know I made a video about embouchure, but there's a lot of the trumpet playing happens in the embouchure, so there's a lot to talk about with it. My last video I was talking about, you might notice I'm wearing the same shirt. Here's a little disclaimer. Behind the scenes footage. I pressed stop recording on that video and I pressed start recording on this video. So, yeah, that's why. Anyways, what was I talking about? Last video, I was talking about a bit of an embouchure shift I'm going through where I talked about wet versus dry embouchure and how I probably play in a wet embouchure, but I think I'm using too much wet when I play as opposed I'm going like, that was wrong. I'm like wetting the entire rim of this mouthpiece, which I think is making me move. This is just a TLDR, quick summary of the last video. Too long didn't read. I guess too long didn't watch would be more accurate. With the last video, where I think because I'm wetting my whole mouthpiece to get because how I set up until a week ago is I do that, I lick everything so it's all wet, and then with the less friction because of the mouthpiece is wet, I move it up and down to where until I like where I'm at, and then I play, and I think which is fine for shorter sections, which I think has been why I've not excelled, but most of my success has been in shorter lead trumpet lines like Gonna Fly Now and stuff, where I don't have to play for super long, because I think in the longer sections having that wet embouchure has made me move up and down slightly, which is changing how much lip is in the mouthpiece and where the pressure is, and I think I'm screwing myself over on longer passages. So little summary, basically, I've been trying to play, I maybe lick my lips a little bit, get them wet, and then I put it on dry, which has been very hard for me. But if you're interested in that, go watch the other video and leave your comments on that and thoughts in the comments. But I'm already 2 minutes in, I'm sorry. This one is, I want to talk about the other thing I've been kind of changing, working on, which is not playing on the red of my lips. Now, previously, on Dragon Ball Z, when I play, I'm getting a pretty good sound, but this part of the mouthpiece is kind of like there, and I think it's pulling me open. So like when I don't have to use too much pressure or anything, it sounds pretty fine, decent. But as you go higher, you're going to naturally need more pressure because you're blowing the mouthpiece off your face. You have to equalize it by pulling. Now I'm not saying I'm like jamming it into my face, but I need to keep the mouthpiece sealed. And I think when I'm doing that, playing on the red of especially the bottom of it is pulling it down and not helping me. I watched some video recently about how the pressure and the science behind putting pressure on the white, or at least the not the red part of the lip, and how that's better, and that's not designed for it, but it's as far as trumpet goes, it's more designed to put pressure here as opposed to on your lips. Now I don't know if you can or can't. I'm sure there's fantastic players that do that, but this is just my experience and what I've watched videos on recently and read and stuff. So that's something that I've been working on now. I went too far for a couple days, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do it at all. So I'm like putting them in. I'm like limit testing, you could say, just seeing how far in I can put my lips. So I was playing like that for a couple of days. I was like, okay, but I ran into a lot of problems with it, mainly in the upper register and endurance-wise. I just felt like I was giving out a lot. So I think it's somewhere in the middle. I'm still trying to see where I lay. I'm trying not to play in the red of my upper lip, which is hard, but as of now, I play with a lot of bottom lip in the mouthpiece, which leaves little room for the upper lip, which means maybe I am on the red. So I'm trying to be aware of that, but I think it's fixed by, maybe not playing like that, but just again, if you hadn't seen the last video, I talked about it, but I have two shorts that I'll be uploading, where I do have both of these things, a good dry embouchure working, and I'm playing not on the red of the mouthpiece. I've had a couple days where I can line them up, and it, pretty early before I get mad and stop or something. where it's all working and it sounds really good. And I played very well and I really liked it. Again, you can watch previous video to hear more about it. But I also think, I talked about in the previous video, how the endurance, I think my endurance in longer sections has improved. And I think that the wet mouth or dry mouthpieces help my endurance, as well as not playing on the red, because I'm not spreading my lips out anymore and I'm putting, more pressure here as opposed to on the lips, spreading them out, making them tired and, beat up and bruised and stuff. So that has helped me in longer passages. Again, I talked about, what is it called? I don't have it up right now. It's Count Bubba. Count Bubba's Revenge or Count Bubba's, one of the two. I've been playing both, but I can't remember which one in particular. I think it was Revenge. Boop, bop, bop, ba, boo, ba, doo, ba, something like that. Anyways, so if you're doing that, I know a lot of stuff I say is like, well, it's a lot very personal. Find out what works for you. This same thing applies. Find out what works for you, and if something's really working, try not to change from it, unless you're confident that the change is good. But this is something that I do believe almost, be careful of my words, almost all players should not be playing on the red. Like a drastic example, I probably, just because of the way, just the way that we play the trumpet, we need our lips to be not very tense. They need to be able to buzz freely and not get all tight. We need a good endurance. We can't be smashing them in too much. So I think it only makes sense to try not to be pressing straight on the lip that's buzzing and manipulating that buzz with pressure and stuff. So that's my thoughts on this one. This one's probably a little shorter than the last video. But that's my thoughts on the topic. Again, same with the last one. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you do, what you found success in. If you've thought about this, if you haven't thought about it or whatever. Because it's this and the last one, dry embouchure and not playing in the red of my lips, is two things that I've been trying to change recently. And again, when it works, it's been great. But I've struggled. I've had a lot of days where I've just struggled to find where I'm supposed to be at. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the subject. I think overall this will help me a lot in the future, but it's a struggle right now, which is maybe why I'm not uploading as much. Because a lot of the times I'll have the trumpet, like, I want to record a video today. And then I play trumpet and I can't find it and I'm frustrated. I'm just like, I'm just done. Just put the trumpet away. We're not doing anything. That's been happening a lot recently. But then I have other days where I'm playing super good. And because I'm playing super good, I want to play a bunch of songs. And by the time I want to record something, I'm like, I've already played like an hour and a half or so. I'm like, I'm done for now. Whatever. I'll record a short or something. Move on with my day. As well as we've been busy a lot. We've been doing a lot. My sister got married and my cousin got married. Both weddings I was in, so there's, stuff going on with that, as well as helping move and just things going on. Grad school's been a lot recently. We've had a lot of grad school work. So, but like a slight update. The bonus content update. Anyways, you have any questions for me, put them in the comments. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this subject. Hope to see you in the next one, whatever it may be. I promise I'm going to try and upload more. I promise. I've been super, super busy the past couple months, just with weddings, grad school, work, events, just things. A lot of stuff going on. Pets. My pet had surgery on its ear, which also was followed by a lot of vet visits on both sides. So it's just stuff happening. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.